YouTube's totally gonna delete our channel. Or am I just overreacting? Let's talk about it. How's it going, fellow young cabs? Zach here with another episode of Let's Talk About It. That's the first time we've actually given this a name, but that's what it's called now. Today's topic isn't strictly about gaming, so to speak, but it still does pertain to something super relevant in the gaming world right now. I know streamers especially should be interested in this. But real quick, before we get started, I just want to take 1 second to remind you to subscribe and then go check out our Discord, where you'll be able to suggest and vote on future topics that we'll talk about in the show. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump right in. YouTube has recently updated their terms and conditions, which that's standard stuff. YouTube updates their terms and conditions all the time, no biggie. But there are potentially two big changes that can impact the gaming side of YouTube. The biggest change was YouTube's new compliance with COPPA. COPPA, for all intents and purposes, is just basically it's a law that is there to protect children from being exploited by weird predatory business tactics that people on the internet can use. If you want to know more about COPPA, lots of other creators like Abdallah Smash have already uploaded videos explaining it more in depth, so when you're done here, you can just go check those out. What I really want to talk about right now is this other change that is absolutely terrifying other gamers and content creators. So added to the account suspension and termination part of YouTube's terms and conditions is this other section that says terminations by YouTube for service changes. And now what that says is YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube believes in its sole discretion that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. So now that sounds like YouTube can just go and delete our YouTube channels whenever they want if they don't think they're financially viable. And I mean, our channel made like $8 last month. So is that financially viable? Is this the end of the young calves? Is YouTube coming for us? Not necessarily. See, this whole thing has been blown way out of proportion. But if you just take a step back, breathe, and think about it, this whole thing actually makes a whole lot of sense. Let's think about how all businesses work for a second, and you'll totally see what I'm saying. So a good or a service is exchanged for financial compensation. I give you money, you give me either a product, a physical product like Super Mario cereal, or a service like you fix my car, or I can watch stuff on Disney Plus like The Mandalorian whenever I want. Shameless plug, our Mandalorian theory video is coming out tomorrow. But with YouTube, it's a little bit different. We don't have to pay for the service. We can upload as much as we want, and then we can watch as many videos as we want. So how exactly does that work? A general rule of thumb is when you don't have to pay for a product, it's because you are actually the product. YouTube gets money from advertisers. The more views on a video, or more specifically, the more views on an ad on a video, the more money that YouTube gets from the people who put the ad there. We are the product. So because us and the content that we make are the product, YouTube doesn't actually have that much control over the product that it's selling. Sure, they can encourage us to make a certain type of content by telling us like, hey, this stuff is trending, do stuff related to that, or saying, hey, go take the Creator Academy courses so that way you know what good YouTube videos look like. But they still can't force us to make the content that they want us to. And then on the other side, obviously they can ban harmful and abusive content, but also to discourage people from making content that advertisers don't like, they can demonetize videos because they go against the community standards. The thing though about demonetization is although it might stop 95% of the people who are uploading content that does not look good on YouTube, it's not gonna stop everybody. Just yesterday, I saw this demonetized guy who uploads 6 times a day, and all of his uploads are about how Earth and rocks and islands are made out of giants, and it's made out of dead giants, and the government's covering it up. So they're not gonna stop everybody. So with stuff like that and stuff that's just low quality and bad, YouTube has never been able to do anything about it because it's not ban-worthy stuff. So it's just there. It's just sitting on YouTube, lowering the quality of YouTube as a whole, and then in turn, lowering the quality of each and every one of mine and your videos through association and just through being on YouTube. And that is where this new condition comes in. You don't have to worry about YouTube deleting and terminating your gaming channel just because you're not making any money. This new condition is just the excuse for YouTube to be able to get rid of toxic channels that they couldn't get rid of before because they weren't breaking any rules before. So feel free to upload away. And if you're still nervous, I get it, this stuff's important to you. You pour your heart and your soul into everything that you make. I know that's what I'm doing right now. So just buy a hard drive, plug it in, and back up all your stuff. So then, you can never be too careful. You're safe. Of course, all of this is just my opinion. So let me know in the comments and on our Discord if you agree or disagree. And please be sure to subscribe. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Let's Talk About It. I don't know, I gotta figure out something to do still. Let's talk about it. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That's it for today. And remember, stay awesome.